Kia ora koutou. Over the past few months, I engaged in deep reflection through the lens of community storied practice, a process that challenged me to think critically and compassionately about whose voices we uplift in education and how we genuinely partner with our communities to create systems that works for everyone. This inquiry has centred on effective learning support, especially for those with diverse needs, and how we, as specialist teachers, can better listen, learn from, and act alongside those most impacted. Too often, systems have ignored and silenced our tangata whenua of Pacific peoples and disabled tamariki and their whānau. Through this mahi, I've come to see that real transformation begins with when we honour mana motuhake, the rights for individuals and communities to define success for themselves. Our storying journey captured a range of locations in the Waikato, from Hamilton, Thames and Tokoroa, right here in Tokoroa, highlighting the diversity and richness for each unique community. I had the privilege to work alongside with fellow researchers Nikki, Clinton, Elsabe, Lydia and Felix. Each of them brought their own flair, culture and vision to approach the process. With their professional and cultural backgrounds, they helped me to shape a community story that was layered, vibrant and reflective of many lives of realities. Throughout the reflection, I'd like to mention that I used the tools of Happy Korua, which reminded me of the importance of whakawhanangatanga, of building trusting relationship before collecting any kind of data. It's about listening with aroha, co-designing with respect, and recognizing whānau knowledge as valid and powerful evidence. This sits alongside practitioners insight and research, forming 3 circles of evidence-based practice, interpreting tika, pono and aro to ensure cultural integrity. One of the big shifts in my thinking was moving from gathering data to kohi kōrero, seeing stories as taonga, not just information. And I asked myself, whose voice I'm presenting, who's missing, whose voice is missing. How do I create a safe and inclusive space for honesty, hope? This led me to reflect deeply on ethical practice as well, especially in the context of community-based mahi, where there is no fixed rule book. Working alongside storytellers who trust you with their lived experiences, it's a privilege and a big responsibility. I consider the frameworks of Te Ara Tika, the Massey University Human Ethics Code, Pacific Research Protocols, which emphasizes autonomy, respect for knowledge holders, reciprocity, and the importance of doing good. I was mindful of the story sovereignty, ensuring that participants could choose to be named or remain anonymous, and question were mana enhancing. And the ways we gathered stories were age appropriate, culturally safe, and guided by tikanga. By viewing the ethics as relational, I moved from compliance mindset to core care-based one, seeking guidance from cultural advisors, using neutral third parties where appropriate, and continually checking that our processes upheld the dignity and mana of all involved. Drawing on Pacific methodologies like Talanoa and Te Ulewa, I've realized the power of relational practice, sitting in conversation not to extract, but to connect. I love that. These approaches have taught me to research isn't just about gathering findings, about giving back, and about walking alongside. As I reflect on this inquiry has meant for me, I feel grounded in my purpose to be an enabler of voice, building of bridges, and a holder of space. My hope is that the stories gathered from the community don't just living reports, but will ripple outwards, informing practice, shifting mindsets, and maybe reshaping systems as well. This process reminded me that we mustn't wait for perfect conditions to start the change. We need to act with courage, remain open to learning, and continually ask ourselves, who am I and what matters most? Ko wai au, he aha te meo nui. Kia ora.